my name's Dean Rankine. I'm a comic book artist, writer and illustrator. I've worked on The Simpsons, Futurama, Rick and Morty, Invader Zim. I'm doing some stuff for American mythology at the moment, Underdog, Rocky and Bullwinkle, and Oggy and the Cockroaches. Really liked Saturday morning cartoons. I was born in the early 70s, so anything like Scooby-Doo or Batfink, Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids, all that kind of stuff has always been a big influence on me. I liked Foot Rot Flats, the comic strip, and Snake Tales. Anything that was basically sort of cartoony grabbed my interest, and I never really knew exactly what it would be later on, but I knew I wanted to draw. And that was like, you know, I don't know, other kids want to be like firefighters or policemen or something. I wanted to draw. As a kid I drew, and it was kind of just how I expressed myself. Professionally, I guess, nearly 30 years I've been freelancing. I've always had part-time jobs to support my drawing habit, but yeah, so it feels like a really long time I've been doing it. I had been drawing for those magazines that you buy at supermarkets, D-Mag and Crash and Mania magazines, and the work dried up. So I went to my local Coles to see kind of what was there, and I picked up a Simpsons comic. It all looked really good, but there was this one page that wasn't quite as good as the others, and I thought, oh, I could just about do it. You know, I was inspired by mediocrity. You know, I could just about do it. And I started sending work off to them. And probably about the third thing I sent, or even the second thing I sent, they said yes, they started using my work. So it's always mainly backup stories, 2-4 page kind of things, or sometimes larger stories, which I wrote as well, which I think kind of helped me to get work through them. But yeah, that's how it sort of came about, and it was really like life-changing. I think that was suddenly people, if you work on a property like that, suddenly people think you know what you're doing. And you know, I'm always, even now, I guess it's the biggest thing I'll ever work on. I'll always be the Simpsons comic guy, regardless of what I do from now on. But that's cool. If that's, you know, if that's what I'm going to be, I'll happily take it. I wrote a book, it's called Be Batman, the unofficial superhero guide to overcoming adversity. And the idea behind it is I guess it's a self-help book for comic book geeks in some ways. The idea is that so many superheroes come from really hard backgrounds. Like you've got, you know, like Batman and Robin and Superman and Spider-Man, they're all orphans. They've all come from tragic backgrounds, and I know that's it's a fictional use to ploy to get them to do superhero kind of stuff. But you know, the theory is, well, what if we can learn something from these characters about getting through hard times? So I looked at superheroes, and I interviewed a bunch of creators from, you know, sort of comic book artists and writers, and you know, even geek musicians and voice actors who've worked on superhero characters, and asked them questions about, like, you know, what's been difficult in your life and how did you overcome it, and who's your favourite superhero, and what kind of role model or what things can you take from that character. So it's interesting, and it's hardly a perfect book, but I did the best I could, and you know, I think it's a cool idea. So I'm currently illustrating a book. So Magda Zabansky, the actor, has written a book called Timmy the Ticked Off Pony that comes out in April, and I'm currently working on the second one now. It's a huge amount of work, it's a lot of drawing. Look, I've just been really, I don't know, it's a really sort of privileged kind of life, I think. I've worked on some amazing things. I don't exactly know how that came about, but happy it did.